Hello. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Creative Buzz podcast. I am your host, Johnny Tran, and we cover San Diego arts and culture. How is everybody doing? We have a great show for you tonight. We'll be talking about, is there a possibility of an upcoming recession? And of course, that would affect the arts and culture industry in San Diego and everywhere else. We also have featured interview with local San Diego artist Evgola, and we'll be giving you an update on the homelessness crisis in San Diego, which continues to explode, and how that affects the arts. And we have clips of live music concert from Poised in the Darkness and French Police um, from Friday at the Ken Club at an event by DJ FN1. And then we have clips of the art exhibition Banksyland. So yeah, we'll be talking about all that. Want to let you know that this podcast is sponsored by Thumbprint Gallery. Thumbprint Gallery was founded in 2009. We curate monthly and pop-up art exhibitions featuring mid-career, emerging, and established artists with a focus on contemporary pop culture, nostalgia, urban art, and pop surrealism. The gallery seeks to provide an eclectic and engaging atmosphere to view art by bringing people together in appreciation and support of local and national, international artists. Don't miss out on our current exhibition from local San Diego artist Victor Villa titled Munti, and that's currently on display until December 31 at Thumbprint Gallery. On the screen, I'm going to put up this video of some pieces of the show. You can see there some sculptural wall pieces and some sculptures you would lay out maybe on the table or something like that. And yeah, so that's what we got going on at Thumbprint Gallery in La Jolla. Now, the closing reception for this art exhibition by Victor will be on December 30th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So yeah, don't miss out. And don't miss out. Come on by. And I also want to let you know about another art show. It's a pop-up art show titled Deck the Walls. It's a skate deck art show, so be art, paintings, etc. on skate decks. And that will be on December 21st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Bar Basic in downtown. And let me put this thing up here real fast. Here's a flyer for it. So yeah, we do this show maybe once a year, usually at the end of the year in December. So yeah, Bar Basic, Wednesday, December 21st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. No cover. I think we have 16, 17, something like that, artists. So it's going to be a fun time. Don't miss out. And another event I want to let you guys know about is the Eclectic Arts and Entertainment Industry Mixer. That's Friday, December 30th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Thumbprint Gallery in La Jolla. Artists, filmmakers, musicians, actors, performers, poets, fashion designers, models, promoters, arts-related nonprofits, and for-profits come on by Thumbprint Gallery, make some contacts, socialize, have fun. There's no cost, no cover, complimentary drinks for everybody. So yeah, um, that was that's an event that I had been doing regularly a couple years ago, but kind of stopped doing it after a while, and trying to just start that thing back up. I also want to let you guys know about the upcoming group art exhibition titled Arrested Motion at Thumbprint Gallery in La Jolla. The opening reception is Friday, January 6th, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. The exhibition will be on display until January 28th. And also, we will be playing a pre recorded interview tonight with artist Evgola, who will be part of the Arrested Motion group art show. So stay tuned for that. And lastly, Artist Annex group art show January 4th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Bar Basic. No cover. Yeah, just it's a group art show. Um, really just designed to give artists an opportunity to be shown. Simple as that. It's a pretty great way for artists who are just kind of looking to get started in showing their art, to do this artist annex pop-up art show. So January 4th, 6 to 9 p.m. If you're interested as an artist, just send us an email at thumbprintgallery@gmail.com. So yeah, that's what we got for art events. But um, one thing that does affect the success of arts and culture related events is the economy. And right now, there's a lot of talk of an impending recession, and most people in the know, most people who are following the economy seems to think that for sure a recession is coming. Um, I tend to look at two key economic indicators that I feel is more relevant to us in the arts and culture industry, especially the part of the arts and culture industry that is kind of event related. So those two indicators are the U.S. consumer sentiment from Michigan University and the U.S. retail sales data. Um, so this is a chart of the U.S. consumer sentiment from University of Michigan. It looks like in December, the U.S. consumer sentiment index unexpectedly jumped to 59.1 from 56.8, which is what it was in November, and that had beat the market forecast. So U.S. consumer sentiment is strong. That's mostly a good thing. Um, and also in the report, it says inflation expectations for next year is down a bit. But that does not mean we will not have a recession. But I'm starting to think that the recession we do have will be um, not so bad as previous ones, hopefully, anyways. Another indicator that I had mentioned earlier is the U.S. retail sales data. And this is that right here on the screen. And retail sales declined 0.6%, which is worse than the forecast. But I did notice in the report, it does say, despite an overall drop in retail sales, there were increases seen in sales at food service and drinking places, as well as food and beverage stores, which leads me to believe that people are going out now more, which means they might be more likely to go to art, music, and culture events. Hopefully that's the case. So I just think the data is just a little mixed up right now. We do have to worry about how the Federal Reserve will react to inflation data and other metrics, because if the Fed continues to raise interest rates too fast, it could cause a bigger recession than is necessary, which comes with a lot of job losses, and job losses means less people will have money to spend on arts and culture events. And the Fed did say that they do believe that job losses are going to be necessary to get to what they want to do, which is unfortunate. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's necessarily all bad news. So, all right. Well, in any case, we are going to go ahead and play for you the interview I did, a pre recorded interview with artist Evgola, who will be part of the upcoming exhibition at Thumbprint Gallery in La Jolla, titled Arrested Motion. That's a group art show. And that will be on Friday, January 6th. That will be the start of it. So here is the interview. I hope you guys enjoy. Hey, I'm here with local artist Evgola. She's here on the Creative Buzz podcast. She has exhibited at Thumbprint Gallery many times, and she will be part of the upcoming group art exhibition in January, titled Arrested Motion at Thumbprint Gallery in La Jolla. She has also shown at many different other galleries, such as La Bodega, Distinction Gallery, In Gallery, Sparks Gallery, and many other places around the country. And she's also had her work at several museums: Oceanside Museum of Art, MCASD La Jolla, and the New Americans Museum. Evgola, thank you for coming on the podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm doing fine.
Right on. Cool. So just to start out, for people that don't know who you are, could you tell us when you did start making art, and how did that start for you?
Well, I've been making art and I think when my being always trying to draw every time I got chance, that I love it so much. So she placed me in a school of art. So 4 years I was going there, and that definitely impact on me, because we will explore all different levels, study history of art. I had an amazing teacher, got be taught by her, and when I was choosing profession, I choice between creativity and real job.
Mm-hmm.
But so I went
Common
to
conflict.
study yeah. Went to study design and architecture,
Mm-hmm.
and I 6 years studying in local university, getting my that, which also had a lot. It was not all that technical. It was still a lot of drawing and amazing connections. And actually, thanks to my university, I am here now in the United States, because
Okay. So
um,
you grew
they
up in Russia
Mhm.
and now you're in
Yes,
the US. Okay.
um, and that happened because my university was involved with local San Diego Foundation and their project, which is International Park, and
Mm-hmm.
foundation is Ilan Lael Foundation, and they spawned this collective projects done by international students and teachers around the globe, pretty much.
Okay.
Cities that are located on a Pacific. So I got lucky in the middle of my university. I got lucky to be selected to be part of this group, and
Okay.
we actually Friendship Park in China,
Okay.
and
What
that's
year
where
was
I
that
met.
around? Like what when was that?
It was
Like how long
2001.
ago?
It
2001.
was 2001.
Okay.
I met my husband.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So
Very cool. What's up, Chris? And
this is actually
is he there?
the garage.
Nice.
Kick him out. He's working.
So
Was sick.
so that's how you got to the US. What was it like growing up in Russia, and how how was it adjusting to life in the US after you immigrated? What challenges and what
Yeah.
things did you have to learn or
Life's really yeah, living there, it was an adventure at times.
Mhm.
But like, I was happy. I didn't know any different, and I was looking for a better life that I came to United
Mhm.
States. I came here to be and it was hard. Like, I didn't want to change country at that
Oh,
time.
okay.
I had everything there and family, it was very hard to leave them. But I tried. I will regret the rest of my life. That was the only option for us to pretty much. I came in 2005
Mhm.
as he's married and lived here in San Diego all this time.
Okay.
But can
And
compare. I mean, there are similarities, of course, and people are people
mhm.
everywhere. Like, personally, I've been just so lucky through my life that no matter which, I get really good people around me.
Mhm.
It's really like a happy bubble of really nice, creative that
And
are in
what was
the
it?
world. And
What was it that prompted you to come to America? Like what? Like you said, you had you were you had to come? Is that what you said? I'm not sure. You kind of broke up a little bit.
Oh, I mean, because Chris invited me.
Oh,
That was the only be together pretty much
okay.
because he will not be able to work and know in Russian fluently, and
I
it was
see.
just
Just a career
yeah,
thing.
mainly
Hmm.
that. And I think for men it's so important to the family, and it will be extremely challenging over there for him. So this will be best. And
Okay.
so
And when did you make the move to become a full-time artist and then quit your day job? And like, what things lined up that let you know it was time to make that move?
yeah, I had a day job that I worked first year here, and then I was working in an advertising
Hmm.
company, and that was nice as well. And people were really nice, and I'm thankful for that. Actually, great way to not only learn English, but how to be in a team projects and
Hmm.
how to communicate with people correctly. So I won my time. It was still I got good skills there. Something I do now. It's not
Hmm.
like learning all that knowledge. It's not necessarily what I use right now, but I always felt like I'm not really fulfilling my destiny, I guess.
Hmm.
It was just not creatively, it was not
Okay.
enough
Not
enough
fulfilling
outlet.
creatively.
No, definitely not. It was
When
and
did you when did you become a full-time artist? Like what year or what?
I think it was well, I started to show my art, and actually Tumbling Gallery was the first one to take a chance on me.
Okay.
After each
Good move.
museum.
Good move on our part.
Actually, the very first public show here in the United States, I think it was actually for Frida Kahlo
Okay.
display. They were doing some um, digital display that was showing different slides to Frida Kahlo from all over the world. And
Mhm.
Chris actually, and I got in. So that was a good start. And I think I actually felt, me not having any show in history in
Mhm.
United States, getting a show in a museum right away like that. I
Right.
felt, hey, I probably should give it a chance. And then that's when I started to find local art community with you guys.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
it's on rolling since then. But it took me another probably couple of years to from day job to
Mhm.
full-time
So
art.
you
Just
you
getting
were
too
you had the
hard.
day job and you were showing art and for a couple of years you had
It
day
was
job and art.
it was a couple of years of
Mhm.
like this roller coaster. I would be at work, and a lot of
Okay.
times you have to work overtime. So I will come home, year old at home, like 2, 3 year old. Yeah, I
Mhm.
was pretty small at that time. That's another reason too. I felt like I did not spending enough time with her. Then I come, it's almost her bedtime. Then while she's sleeping, I'll be painting.
You're talking about
Go,
Sophia, your daughter?
Sophia, my daughter, yeah. My daughter.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So it was
So
hard. It was hard to
I'll
balance.
yeah, 3 hours because I had a show,
Mm.
let's say, on a weekend. So I'll have
Mm-hmm.
to paint whatever night hours I could get.
Wow.
And on 3 hours sleep, a huge
I can't do
cup
it.
of coffee,
Oh man.
I will go
I,
to
I
work
need my 6 hours.
and work
I need
another.
6 hours.
Well, I was younger, so it was okay for.
All
But
right.
anyways, after a couple of years of this, it was just I started to fall apart. It was impossible
Oh.
to
Mm-hmm.
crumble. I was constantly sick, and
Mm.
I just tried to do all these things at the same
Mm.
time. It's like you're compromising each one of them.
Right. Right.
So balancing got extremely hard, and
Mm.
it was when I chose art. I decided that if I don't try it right now, this
Mm-hmm.
right.
Right.
While I'm still younger and while I'm still
So it just
can
got to a point where you were so busy that you just had to choose one way or the other, and you chose art.
definitely,
Very cool.
because
Uh,
you can
mhm.
always come back to day job and always
Yep.
there.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-boss was actually super supportive, and he said,
Oh,
"Please,
cool.
whenever if you need to." But he actually said that I really think you should try it.
Oh, that's very cool. It's
he
great to have a
said
good
we are
community of support.
bumped out, but um, they all knew that I'm painting, and
Mm,
he really said I should do it. It took
very
off
cool.
pretty quickly, and it's been a job ever since. So I never had to look for a day job again.
Nice, nice. That's inspiring. What inspires your art? Like, what inspiration do you draw from?
Well, mainly it will start feeling emotion that I'm going through, and
Mm-hmm.
I need to let out. Became this kind of medicine and therapy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, yeah, it goes from the inside. It goes, and then I look for subjects and elements that were the best.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly I work with portrait and a right model, a right reference for that place, this person in certain surreal background, and add
Okay.
elements that can
Sorry,
actually represent.
you cut out a little bit, but you say you use a model. A model.
I search for a right muse, female,
Mm-hmm.
and that will represent that particular, and it kind of it comes as puzzle pieces.
Mm.
We'll, let's say, like, be pregnant with it, will think about it a lot, and little elements will come together, and I keep adding it, and I will start to pretty much collage it all together in
Okay. Is it
a
so? It's kind of like
composition.
a organic process. It's not as planned out. Am I getting that right?
No, no, it's not as. I mean, it's hard to explain, really.
Intuitive.
Yeah, it's very intuitive process, but I would say it definitely motion, and finding right elements
Mm-hmm.
to speak about that. That's like another part of the process, and that adds to the inspiration, of course, because when I see somebody that in their face or their body language, and like another puzzle piece came together, and I
Mm-hmm.
think, okay, this is perfect. This is what I will talk about, this particular issue. or emotion
Okay.
I'm going through. And I think it's such a therapeutic for me personally
Mm-hmm.
that every time it's not something harsh or difficult, but I feel like most of them put their best work using say I think I made some of my best works going through some tough moments in my
Mm-hmm.
life. It kind of just like sharpens everything and it for art. And the painting itself, because it's like a medicine and it does really help me to go through something. I feel, and like it releases me, like it
Mm-hmm.
relieves whatever I'm going through. Painting
Mm-hmm.
itself has that kind of healing power in it
Mm-hmm.
that I've people who look at the painting can kind of resonate with it, that it has. And I've been hearing from they feel some kind of healing power in
Is it
art. I've heard that about my art too.
is it
So
how important is it that you're able to convey a particular feeling to the viewer, or do you want them to feel a certain way, or do you kind of want them to just take away whatever way they want out of it, and everything, and it's fine with you? Like, do you aim for a certain feeling for the viewer, or is it more about I'm just doing this for me and however you feel is fine?
yeah, I definitely want each one of the viewers with my paintings. In fact, I actually don't like to tell for
Hmm.
me personally. And people
Hmm.
ask a lot, and I
I'm
usually don't
sure.
feel they tell me what they think
Hmm.
and what they feel looking at it. Sometimes their stories even better than mine. So I think it's really important. It's kind of becomes a reflection of the person that looks at it. Everybody will see it from will see it from different lens of their own experiences in life,
Hmm.
and it doesn't really have to be the same thing that I felt
Right.
and the same maybe I intended to represent. It doesn't have to be, and I think that it's
Hmm.
personal to everybody. It's personal to the artist, but I just believe that generally the had certain energy in it,
Hmm.
and I believe that art has a healing that people represent, and it just really makes them better, even if sometimes the first emotion may be pleasant,
Okay.
but it does still it has that ability to heal, because in a process of healing uncomfortable truths or
Hmm.
our trigger, and only after we actually face them we are able to heal. Explaining this
Got it.
correctly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. That's
So
pretty.
I really do believe that art is for anyone involved,
Hmm.
and that's art is a big part of our lives, really,
Right.
necessarily only for the artists.
Cool. So you talk about painting. Painting is a form of healing. What other mediums do you use? We paint, and what did you use any other mediums?
I actually actually constantly trying to experiment with different techniques. I kind of get slightly bored if I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. I will say my primary technique that is kind of unique, I believe. I don't see too many artists working exactly that way. I'm sure that kind of defines my style. That I will be doing pencil renderings with a lot of cross-hatching and then paint to it, usually in the form of like watery, kind of almost watercolor type. But then I will get certain elements will get that like oil painting, but mainly I work with acrylic. Oil as well, and I use a lot of gold leaf. And
yeah, I noticed that.
I do and just color it, pencil drawings, and my latest experiment was carving out of linoleum those print blocks.
Yeah, those turn out great.
Lino cut, right?
Lino cut.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but Linocut.
If you don't know how to say it, I don't know.
I guess I should have looked it up before.
I
Lino cut
think
or
it's
lino
fine.
cut? I don't...
Yeah,
Okay.
lino cut or lino cut.
It's gotta be one of those.
Anyways, I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, you're gonna do more of that?
Probably. Right now it's just I'm busy with work, and that
You're busy with
requires
what?
my list. I have actually 2 illustration projects at the moment.
Okay.
So
what are those about?
And those techniques. So I'm still working on my tarot.
Okay. Cool. Tarot card.
Yeah, tarot card, and that's been a long process, and like kind of it still breaks out of it to work on some other interesting project that came along. It's Christmas book, and say too much about it yet, but it's for it's classical story, Christmas, and together with my creative team. I got
for
hired by
children's book or
local. No, it's for everybody.
Okay.
So it's kind of the project. It's intended to be this luxury that it will be passed on generations.
Okay.
That's our client to create something special, like a really heirloom. So that's been fun to work on as well.
Cool. Very cool.
I never illustrated a book before, so it's a lot
Okay.
of learning process. Harder, I think, than I thought.
What challenges are there to that?
Well, I guess it's just I've been used to different process, because for all these years since I started to really, I always had this creative freedom, paint, whatever I want, pretty much. I took some more at the beginning of my art career, and lately it's just been so busy I was not able to take any commission work. But shifted a little bit towards illustration, so I have less shows, but I've been focusing on projects. And I think one of the challenges is working in a team between. I also have artist helper, Olga Tinikova, and Eva is our designer, and Chicago, which is it's two people actually. It's our
Okay. So
client
so
and
you're working on
photographer.
in a team
So
instead of like
it's a lot of
mhm.
Zoom calls, sketching,
Mm,
and having everybody agreed on something. So that part is the most challenging for me. That
okay. I can see that.
I can't go faster. Everybody needs to agree on
Right.
a lot of every
A
color.
lot of meeting of the minds required.
Yeah. So the process is not.
Pesky other people,
Yeah.
other humans. Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
it's been going smooth. It's just
Okay.
time consuming. There are no conflicts or anything. We all can come up with something we all like, but it's just the process.
Will that be released, or when do you think that'll be finished?
So, and with the artwork by May of the
Okay.
23, and by the end of that year, it will be released,
And I guess you'll let
or
everybody
next
know
Christmas.
when it happens.
Oh, definitely. I'll
Okay.
broadcast a lot about that for sure. And I think they're
Okay.
gonna actually have some book signing events talking about
Okay.
the project. I think they are trying to maybe museums or art
Yeah.
venues. I'm sure Chicago and I believe New York to do some kind of promotional events.
Oh wow. Very
Not like
cool.
set, nothing is set in stone yet, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much. We will be definitely showing our process, and not only the final framed sketches and framed originals
Exciting.
artwork that went into the book. So that's very exciting. Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
One final question. Um, what advice do you have for artists just starting out and looking to begin showing at galleries and get out there? Like, what advice do you have for somebody in that situation?
The advice. Oh gosh, I don't think I'm great at gifts. I do believe it's very personal,
Mm,
and everybody finds paths. Um, but you have to be willing to sacrifice it, and you constantly have skills. That's very
constantly
important.
what?
You need to working on your like
Mm,
improvement.
hmm.
So that only comes through hard work and
Right.
practicing your craft. That's, I guess, the base of it.
Hmm.
And I mean, the key to success is kind of you have to be hard on your. Also, it doesn't really make any sense to work hard if you don't have fun.
Right. Gotta have fun.
So
Enjoy.
it became over this year. It became not about and about achieving certain heights and important. I need to have fun with
Hmm.
it. I need to when you feel charged and gives you certain high when really, and that's the best part for me, and that's what's important. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong.
Right. And
Pretty
you're more likely to
much. It's not only art, but I think it's
yeah, and you're
important
more likely to
for the
quit.
art because
Mhm.
um, it's important to find find that kind of fun in the process because it shows when you
Mm.
don't when it doesn't come from the heart, the struggle,
Mm-hmm.
it really shows in the artwork. And when something is compromised, it will show, and people, not necessarily, they are sensitive to that. Anybody can see it, anybody can sense it. So it's important
Right.
that it comes from the heart and with passion. So that, I guess, but of course,
That's good
it does.
advice.
Whenever you start, it's important to find your community, your tribe,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Community.
local, because that's kind of that. Nothing is as important as personal when it comes to pretty much. I mean, a lot of jobs went online in the art world. I think personal connection. So it's important to find your local community and
Mm-hmm.
your local galleries and go and meet people. Have a lot of artists and gallerists and learn from them. You'll find your way, whatever suits your art style, and
Mm-hmm.
that I guess will be my advice.
Yeah, that's great advice. Well, Evgenia, thank you so much
Yeah,
for coming on the Creative Buzz podcast, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the Rested Motion Group Art Show at Thumbprint Gallery in La Jolla in January. Thank you so much.
yeah, I'm excited. Thank you. Thank the podcast and the interview and the show. That many shows lately, so the show is so exciting, and I can actually get
Yes,
out of the house
yes, let's
and
have that
start
fun you're
creating
talking about.
things. Yeah, I mean, and ever since COVID, it's been kind of different. Definitely,
Okay.
it's less conversations like that. So I
Hmm.
miss you guys at the show, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right. Happy Friday. Happy holidays.
Okay. You
Bye.
too. Bye bye. All right. So that was local artist Evgola, and again, she will be showing at the upcoming group art exhibition Arrested Motion at Thumbprint Gallery in La Jolla. Opening reception is Friday, January 6th, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah, so you guys go check that out and support the arts. And I want to move on to the next topic, which also has to do with supporting the arts, or at least looking at the structures in our society locally that does support the arts, or it can harm the arts. And that aspect I'm talking about is homelessness in San Diego. When there's too much homelessness, um, that's generally obviously bad for the people who are suffering, but it also is bad for tourism. And less tourists means things are not as good as they could be for the San Diego arts and culture industry. Recently, um, the number of homeless individuals in downtown San Diego hit yet another record high. According to the San Diego Union Tribune, and I quote, the number of homeless people in downtown San Diego reached a record high for the fourth straight month in November, according to a count conducted by the Downtown San Diego Partnership. November's count found 1,706 people sleeping on sidewalks and in cars along downtown streets. And that's up from 1,660 from October and increasing the monthly average for the year to 1,485. And that's from the Union Tribune. So yeah, so that's pretty, pretty bad news. Can be somewhat discouraging. Um, but the county has responded by continuing to provide grant money for the homelessness crisis. The county recently granted $5 million more for homeless shelters in 4 different cities in San Diego County. This is from the San Diego Union Tribune, and I'm quoting: "A second and final round of grants San Diego County is awarding to local cities will help expand or continue shelter programs in San Diego, Carlsbad, Chula Vista, and Escondido. With the number of homeless people living without shelter increasing throughout the county, the Board of Supervisors in May offered $10 million for cities to fund shelters, safe camping sites, cabins, or other programs that would help get people off the street. Uh, the grants announced Thursday will provide $2 million to expand Catholic Charities, La Posada de Guadalupe Shelter in Carlsbad, $1.8 million for pallet houses in Chula Vista, $736K for a family shelter in Escondido, $393,000 for a 34-room senior shelter in San Diego, and $350,000 for a 42-bed family shelter also in San Diego. This funding was launched with hope that cities throughout the county would apply for money to create new shelter programs. Supervisor Nathan Fletcher, said in September that the response was disappointing because only 3 cities applied, leaving about $5 million on the table. So, of the 5 projects funded in the latest round, 4 were shelters that already existed or are planned. Fletcher said the effort still was a success because the funds would pay for significant increases that are needed throughout the county. So I don't know why, only a handful of cities in the county, um, 3 cities, only 3 cities applied for the funding. If you are in one of the cities that did not apply, you may want to talk to your city council and mayor. Now, along with more shelters and safe parking lots, another tool that seems to have been effective in combating homelessness in San Diego is housing vouchers. This was reported from the Los Angeles Times, and I quote: "The federal government unveiled the $1 billion emergency housing voucher program last year to rapidly house the most vulnerable, marginalized people at the height of the pandemic. Armed with $1.1 billion from the American Rescue Plan, HUD distributed 70,000 of these vouchers to cities and counties across the nation. The new program came with higher rent caps, extra money for landlord incentives, relaxed documentation requirements for Section 8 vouchers, the longtime federal benefit that pays the majority of low-income tenants rent, but faces a myriad of problems. The new vouchers still fell short against the realities of the nation's massive housing crisis. Over a year after they were doled out, just 52% of new vouchers were used across the country. California, which has the worst housing crisis in the nation, less than 45% of its emergency housing vouchers are in use. San Francisco has used less than 40% of its vouchers. Los Angeles, with less than a fourth of its vouchers, are in use. But San Diego has dramatically outperformed those 2 other large cities. Despite San Diego's tight housing market, 100% of its emergency housing vouchers issued since June 2021 have placed people into permanent housing. Two factors that may have helped San Diego succeed where other cities are struggling, housing advocates and experts across the country told the Times. Um, first factor that may have helped San Diego is that fewer people fall through the cracks in San Diego's system. In other cities, applicants may shuffle among as many as four organizations. San Diego's Housing Commission minimized the number of agencies and individuals whom clients have to deal with as they apply for vouchers, wait for approval, which is the hardest part, and search for housing. In San Diego, most voucher applicants interact at most two agencies before they are placed in a home. So that's the first factor that helps San Diego succeed in distributing the vouchers. Uh, Basically, they're saying there's a lot less red tape, it seems like, or just somehow the system is much more efficient in San Diego than in Los Angeles and SF. Be interesting to find out exactly what how that is the case. The second factor that helped San Diego outperform Los Angeles and SF, according to the LA Times, is that the city calculates how much vouchers are worth on a neighborhood by neighborhood basis rather than using a flat rate across the city, making vouchers more flexible. So, yeah, so they're more customizing, I guess, how each voucher is being distributed and how they distribute the vouchers across different neighborhoods. So it seems like San Diego's administration of the housing voucher program from the state is what sets us apart from other larger cities in California. So yeah, and of course, less homelessness means better for tourism, means better for the arts and culture industry in San Diego. We'll be keeping tabs on that, and we'll see how that situation develops. Right now, we are going to move on to not so bad news, I guess, or yeah, I don't know, a little more fun. I got clips of a live concert from Poised in the Darkness, local San Diego band, and French Police at the Can Club. Then after that, I'll be showing you some clips of the Banksyland exhibition. So here we go. Give me 1 second. So this is Poised in the Darkness, Can Club. The event was presented by DJ FN1. And this is a French Police Can Club, December 16th. Event presented by DJ FN1. French Police, I believe, is from Chicago. All right, so this is the Banksyland exhibition. Um, Banksyland is an international touring exhibition that engages audiences with the works of the world's most elusive artist, Banksy. This multimedia art experience contains more than 80 works, including originals, hand produced editions, and never before seen installations examining the mystique and cultural impact of the most sought after artists of our time. Banksyland is produced by 1000 Ways, an international experiential arts company specializing in innovative, immersive events. Our global team of curators and producers create experiences in the service of the mission to inspire social change through art that captures the attention of diverse audiences and unites cultures. And Banksyland will go is now and will go until January 1st, but the time slots are selling out, so you guys should get on that if you're looking to check this out. And yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here: sculptures, paintings, um, installation work. Um, the Creative Buzz podcast is sponsored by Thumbprint Gallery. Thumbprint Gallery was founded in 2009. We curate monthly and pop-up art exhibitions featuring emerging mid-career and established artists with a focus on contemporary pop culture, nostalgia, urban art, and pop surrealism. The gallery seeks to provide an eclectic and engaging atmosphere to view art by bringing people together in appreciation and support of local, national, and international artists. All right, so that's all we got for you guys today. Thanks for checking out the Creative Buzz podcast.